Hey, what's up? It's Mykill Metal, and I'm playing some more Kerbal Space Program, and this is heading out towards Minmus. This is my first off-world base, and it's got room enough for 16 Kerbals, which technically is overkill because I only needed room for 9 or 11. But I had to make it balanced, so I put it on both sides of the center. Bring this up and circularize it. And it took me about 20 minutes to get the transfer to Minmus all set up with the maneuver node because it's in a weird little angle on the orbit, and then I have to burn at this weird jacked up angle just to get there. I end up burning past it just a tiny bit, and then I correct it. But yeah, here's me coming in over Minmus. Just going to circularize this real quick. And then once I get low enough, I can actually start the landing process. And here's the landing, which I forgot to close or retract the solar panels, but whatever. I like to bring it in at about 100 until I get to 1,000 or 2,000 meters, and then I slow it down to about 50. And then once I get within about 200 to 300, I'll slow it down. There's the contract. Yeah, this one's heading out towards the moon. I just launched the same ship twice. Staging. And after about 5 minutes of flying around, I finally found a nice flat landing spot. Just stop the forward momentum. And bring this in nice and soft at about 4 or 5 meters per second. And then extend all the panels once I get the contract. And now I'm ready for the next launch. This is the first part of the Munar station. It's going to be in orbit of the moon, and I'm going to be sending a bunch of more parts to go and fill it out. And this was actually part of one of the contracts because I have Fine Prints mod, and it adds a bunch of new stuff like building orbital stations and moon bases and stuff like that. And there it is in orbit. Now I'm going to send... Actually, I realized that the timer for the transfer window to Elu has just come up, so I'm launching this to head on out towards Elu. It's called the Elu Edge. There goes the second stage. I did asparagus on this one, so it gave me twice as much delta V as I normally would have had. Or roughly twice. I'm not sure about that. This is a highly jacked up angle for the fucking transfer out to Elu. I'm guessing it could have picked a better time to send me out there, but... And then once I get the orbit set up, I'm going to delete that second maneuver node that I have set up out there, and I'm going to place another one. And I'm going to set up an alarm to warn me when I'm 15 minutes away from that burn. And this is the zoology lab that I sent out towards the moon. I'm going to cut out some of the launches in this because building space stations is like 100 and something launches at times. I've already done at least 20 for the Munar station. Some of them have been failures. Full disclosure. I think I might have put too many solar panels on this one, but that's okay because I'm going to add actual solar panel trusses eventually. And then when I get to RTGs, I'll slap a bunch of those on there too. I'm going to transfer a bunch of the fuel over because I just added that science lab right before I detach. And then here comes the arms. I'm going to send another one of those to put another 2 on the other side. There goes that into the surface. Some of the material I'll be crashing or returning to Kerbin or something like that, but most of it I'll just leave in orbit because I kind of want the Kessler syndrome going on. And you'll see later I actually do get a pretty close call. Time warp up to that burn. This is just another satellite contract. Once I get that in orbit, I'm gonna turn off the SAS, and I'll get the contract. And this is my first Kerbal synchronous satellite. It was a lot cheaper than normal because I used that solid rocket booster instead of a liquid fuel one. And then I switch over to this. Pop the fairings and then separate from that. Get this set up. And once I get up to the apoapsis, I'm going to circularize and hope that I still have that little green sight in a line of sight from the satellite, because otherwise I wouldn't get the contract. There we go, we got it. And here's more station parts. Put parachutes on everything, pretty much. And then if you have debris fund, you get all the money back. And here's the science lab for the Kerbin station that I'm also building. Just going to circularize this at pretty much close to 100 kilometers. And then get this set up and detach. And I forgot to put RCS and probe core on this, so I had to time warp it away. And here's the science lab core, which will provide me with, I think it's either Eureka's or Quarks. Once I get this all set up with probes and automatic stuff, I'm going to then switch over and get and then start putting the Kerbals up in orbit. I'm not going to start putting the Kerbals up there until this thing is finished, because that's the way I like to do things. Zero out the velocity once I get nice and close, and there you can see the the close call I was talking about. That was like 20 kilometers away, but still, that was pretty freaky when you first see it. It's just like, what the hell was that? There's gonna be another one in a second here. This is the docking node that I'm gonna put on the bottom of the space station. And as you can see, I flipped it over laterally. And instead of detaching the docking node, I accidentally staged it, so it just kind of flew away on me. There's another close call I was talking about. That one's a little bit closer. And here are the 3 arms that I'm going to be sticking on the top and the 2 sides. This is kind of going to look like a flux capacitor or something. Except the flux capacitor would only have the 2 on the sides. I have an extra one on the top that I'm going to stick the power truss and stuff on there. I got a bunch of solar panels that I'm going to send up on the next in the next video. And I have a bunch more of the science labs and stuff that I still have to send up. And this one still needs a zoology lab, and I still need to do a whole bunch of other stuff to the Munar station. And like I said before, if you have, or maybe I didn't say it before, I'll say it now. If you have suggestions for the name for the station, or for either station, let me know, and I'll probably use them. And these are the 2 docking hubs that I'm going to put on the side, so I can attach the science labs and another row of habitats, modules, and stuff like that. Speaking of habitat modules, I tried to use the station parts from KSO, the Kerbin shuttle orbiter system thing, but apparently there's a bug where if you use any of those parts, your staging UI disappears and you can no longer use spacebar. Spacebar doesn't work anymore. Like, it'll still make the noise for the click, but it won't do anything. That's a problem. I'll bring this last one in nice and slow. I usually like to bring it in about 0.23, and then I'll just center it as I come in. And then what I'm going to do with this, as soon as I switch to it, I'm going to target that over there, and I'm going to attach this to that, and then I'm going to deorbit both of them and pop the chutes on this and see if Deb Refund will actually give me my money back for it. Spoilers, it doesn't work. So yeah, that'll be it for this one. So if you liked the video, leave a like or a comment or something like that, and I'll see you next time.